What if achieving everything you've ever wanted in your life all came down to shifting your mindset? This is what we believe at the Mindset Flex podcast. Buckle up and get ready to expand your mind and get uncomfortable. Welcome to this episode. This is your host, Elise, and today we are talking about pain. So I decided on doing these podcasts and making them 20 minutes or under because I want you guys to have something to listen to when you drive to work, when you drive to the gym, or just something to get your day started with. Well, today's topic is going to be really hard to just put into 20 minutes. This is like the mother episode. This is what made me think about making this podcast. And this is the concept that has shaped the past 8 years of my life. So let's go back to where it all started. I had a really, really hard and dark time right outside of high school. I realized that I was dealing with eating disorders. I lost all my friends because everybody left to go to universities and I had to stay home because I couldn't fill out FAFSA, didn't have a green card, still don't have a green card. So it was a really rough time in my life. My dream was to go to CU Boulder here in Colorado. I got accepted into the program that I was going to go to, had this dream of like going to med school, which is just hilarious to me at this time. And obviously I found out that I couldn't do it. So I went back home, joined a community college because I had to go to college and started going to the gym every single day. And that's the only thing I had. And I just fell in love with it. And I read every single article on bodybuilding.com. And instead of having friends or talking to humans, I literally was talking to weights basically because I was super duper lonely. And one day somebody approached me at the gym and was like, hey, you should compete because clearly you've transformed your body by yourself. And that's how I ended up doing my first competition at 19. That's a very brief background for you guys. I'll probably go into that in more detail in an upcoming episode, but that's not the point today. The point is what happened as I started on this journey. And it all started with pain. The pain of being lonely, the pain of having an eating disorder and feeling like I couldn't get out of it. It was just pain after pain after pain. And as I was prepping for my third show, I ended up being at these food shows with this coconut water company being a sales rep girl, I guess. I don't know if you guys have any idea what this is, but basically I went to food shows and stood around in my little outfit because I was jacked because I was prepping for shows. And my job was to get these vendors that would walk by to carry this new coconut water in their stores. Well, I ended up doing such a good job that the company, again, it was an up and coming great company out of Florida. They loved me so much that they offered me a job to be their first sales rep in New York City. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? That is my dream job. Like, I love New York. And I've been going to Jersey and New York for years at this point because I'm Hungarian and there were a lot of Hungarians there, also the same religion. So all these people that I grew up together, I knew, and we spent a lot of time together. We'd go on like ski trips and all this stuff. And that's actually how I knew Erhard as well. Like his dad's a pastor and I knew him through this group of people. And when I got this job offer, I called him up and he's like, oh, dude, just move in with me. Like, you could totally do that. We were friends at this time. So I'm like, great, everything is lined up. I'm going to move to Jersey. I'm going to switch schools and I'm going to be a sales rep in New York. Actually, that following weekend, I went to New York. They kind of like walked me around, showed me what I would be doing, and I shook hands on the job. Hint, hint, you never shake hands on a job. But again, I was 19 and kind of stupid. So I packed everything up and I was like, bye parents, I'm moving to Jersey, drove from Cleveland to New Jersey, moved in with Erhard, went to Middlesex County College, and like 2 weeks into me being in Jersey, found out that the company fell through and I had no job and it was already too late because I moved and changed my whole life around this promise. So I did what I had to do. And the only option I had, which was work at LA Fitness, because that's where I worked at back in Cleveland. So I went and applied at the East Brunswick LA Fitness, worked at the front desk, at the kids club. And it was very miserable because I was barely making any money. And all of a sudden, instead of living at home, I had to pay for rent. and my food and everything else. And I kid you not, I would go to Plato's Closet like every week to sell some of my clothes to be able to go to Wegmans and buy the family pack freaking chicken breasts. So I'm literally sleeping 3 hours a night. I wake up at 5 a.m., go to one of the LA fitnesses to do my morning cardio. Then I go to class. Then I go do my morning shifts at the East Brunswick LA Fitness. Then I would usually have a break in between, and that's when I would get my lifts in. But sometimes if I had class early on, I wouldn't do fasted cardio. I'd go to class, then I'd work, do my first shift. Then I would get my lift in. Then I would do my second shift, which would end at 11 p.m. at the East Brunswick LA Fitness. And then I would literally drive over to the North Brunswick LA Fitness to finish my cardio because that one was open until midnight. So I'd go home at midnight and then I would have to food prep for the next day. So I'd be up till like 1, sometimes 2 a.m., waking up again at 5. And if you think that this is hard enough, wait till you hear this. So Erhard was in his dark phase. He's dealt with heroin addiction and other addictions in his life. And, you know, when I moved in, I was like, it's cool. I'm going to change his life. And he's been clean for a while. Like, it's all good. And, you know, we all know each other. He's part of family. You know, we were all rooting for him, praying for him. So I'm like, it's cool. I got this. Well, that didn't turn out how I imagined it, clearly. I wasn't there being able to change his life. It was more like the opposite. And he was relapsing. And, you know, for anyone that has had a heroin addict in their life, I don't think I need to go into detail how dark those times can get. And I had just had tremendous love for this dude. Like, we were best friends and been so close. And moving in and being with him, you know, there every day while I'm grinding and trying to survive and watching him literally slowly kill himself and waste his life away was the hardest shit I've ever had to deal with. It was so freaking hard. And I remember just being at a complete breaking point. A month, actually 2 months into me being there, my body gave out. I had 103 fever. I got so sick that like literally nothing would bring my fever down. I was on bed rest. And I remember my friend Andrea having to come over. She's like a big sister to me. And she literally had to wrap my naked body in cold towels. And I was like a grown ass woman. Okay. Very dark time in my life. And as I got over the sickness and started to get my strength back, my heart was broken. My mind was broken. Like, I was just dealing with so much pain, but I had all these goals and I was working towards all these things. And I just was like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to be doing all of these things. Like, I just don't understand because this is so painful and I feel like I can't go on. I don't know if any of you can relate, like just going through insane amount of pain and you're like, why is this happening to me when I'm trying to reach these goals? Why is this happening to me when I'm trying to do this and that? And I'm trying to elevate my life and I can't control my circumstances. I can control what's happening to me. I can control who's trying to break me down. And one morning at one of my fasted cardio sessions, I just went to YouTube and I typed in like motivation. And the first motivational video that came up was by Eric Thomas. And he said in that video, I used the pain to push me to greatness. And I remember hearing that, which is now tattooed on my freaking arm. But I remember hearing that and just bursting into tears, like just literally getting so emotional and like bawling my eyes out at the freaking gym during my fasted cardio because I felt like somebody had finally given me an answer. I felt like I was trying to figure out how to make the pain go away, how to lessen the pain, how do I get myself out of this because I can't handle it, when in reality, I had to do the opposite. The pain wasn't going to go away. People around us don't change. We are not in control of that. The only thing that we are in control is our attitude. That is the only thing that we're in control of. And I remember hearing this and hearing his story. And then I started listening to more motivational speakers. And I was like, wow, everybody has come from such a dark place and has dealt with so much pain. Why do I think that this little thing that I'm going through, when people have gone through and are going through a lot worse things, is like breaking me down and ruining my life? When in reality, this could actually be something very powerful. Like what the enemy means for harm, God will make good. And pain is actually very powerful. Pain is an energy. When you feel pain, like it is an energy, but it's this negative energy. And if we just realize that it can actually be turned around as fuel, like pain can actually be fuel in our lives. You know, like when your car is like running low and you need gas to keep going. Well, you can choose a lot of things to keep you going. You know, like when you get really mad and like you're just in so much pain, you literally choose. You have a choice on what you will do, like what your next step will be. Like, I mean, we all choose different things, but you know that there are people that when they feel pain, they drink their pain away. There are people that when they feel pain, they get high and drug themselves away. People that binge watch Netflix in their pain. And then there's people that go to the gym and hammer out their pain and their anger, right? Like, you know, those people, and it's just your choice. That's it. The people that go to the gym when their heart is breaking and when they're pissed and they end up changing their lives around, it's because they just chose that. Instead of laying on the couch and drinking and watching Netflix, they chose to get up and put their pain into themselves, into bettering themselves, into the weights. Right? Like we have a choice in this. And so when I was going through this dark pain, this dark time, and like nobody told me that I could do this, I'm like, why didn't anyone tell me this? But they didn't. And when I heard Eric Thomas say that, I made a decision. And I just said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the pain to push me to greatness. I was like, oh my gosh, if I can do this, this is amazing because I have a lot of pain. I have a lot of pain right now. And I kid you not, it worked. It freaking worked. Was it easy? Hell to the no, it wasn't easy. It was super hard. But it's like everything I had to do that I didn't feel like doing, or like before I would let this pain just like totally overtake me. And instead of going and getting the thing done, I would just revert back and close myself. I was like, no, hell to the no. In spite of this, like I'm doing it and I'm going to give it 110%. And I'd literally like take that pain that I had and like, it would just give me so much energy and kind of anger too, you know, and I would just like push through. And it worked. Like I got out of that situation. I was in prep for my first figure show. I looked like dog shit on stage, but you know what? I didn't give up. I stood on stage. I wanted to pull out like so many times. It's hilarious, but I didn't. And there were people that knew about my pain in my life and they would tell me, it's okay. Like take it easy, be easy on yourself. And I was like, no, like in spite of this, I'm doing it. Like watch me do it. Just watch me freaking kill it. And after that first show, I moved back to Cleveland and my parents said, you know, if you're going to live at home, you have to go to college full time. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to college full time. But guess what? I want to keep competing because this sets my soul on fire. So I'm also going to start working full time too. So literally, like, I pushed myself out of that spot and I was still in so much pain, but I just kept adding more wood to my freaking fire, just more and more. I went back to school full freaking time. Then I started working at LA Fitness again. I started doing a network marketing company. I launched my own online fitness training business. Like I was doing so much and I was so on fire, and using that pain as fuel pushed me to heights and truly pushed me to greatness that I never thought I would achieve. And once I reached that, like I forgot about the pain. Like that went away because everything else was overtaking that pain. It was requiring a lot of me that I couldn't even pay attention to my pain anymore. And I moved on. And after that point, any time that I had pain in my life, I realized that it was a leveling up test. Like it was a test for me to pass, because every time we have pain in our life, not only can we use it for fuel to push us to greatness, but by pushing us to greatness, we go to a next level. And in order to go to a next level, we have to pass that person that we are now. Therefore, we actually get better as a human being. So we need to stop looking at pain as something that's not supposed to happen. Like, we need to remember that the harder the struggle, the bigger the triumph. So if you're shooting for great things in your life and you have huge dreams, do not expect it to be an easy journey. I mean, holy wow, you're going to be disappointed. Like, your bubble is going to be burst very fast because the bigger goals you set, the harder it's going to be to achieve them. I see so many people literally make excuses because of their pain. Like, they'll say, my heart is so broken. I don't have motivation. I don't have inspiration. Like, I just cannot get myself to do anything right now. And let me tell you, that's just your choice. You're literally choosing that. You can take this pain and you can use it for fuel. You can. That's what it is. It's just fuel. It's just energy. And you can put it wherever you want to put it. But I highly recommend that you make it a tank of gasoline and you pour it in a car and you freaking haul ass and you go towards your dreams. Something else that I will go into in the upcoming episodes is my hectic, wild, crazy year of 2021. If any of you follow me on Instagram, I've talked about this. I lost everything this year. Lost my business, lost my friends, lost my marriage, lost myself. Like, literally, a lot of those things are back now. Like, right, I have my marriage, we're working on it. But I got to the lowest, hardest point of my entire life. And I really felt that feeling of holy shit. Like, I know what I need to do. I know I need to use the pain, but it's just feeling impossible right now. And I had this turning point and I just was like, all right, this is the most amount of pain. I'm literally at the bottom of the shit show that is my life. I was so distracted. I crashed my brand new car 3 days after getting it, like, into the snowbank, which, like, I never do. But I turned literally everything around and I freaking won an overall in wellness. Then I started this podcast. I launched a fitness business. Like, I'd done so much more in the past 8 months than in the past, like, 6 years, because I used pain. I remembered this. So I need you to remember that in the darkest times of your life, you can actually bring the most amount of transformation and the biggest magic out of those times. And I guarantee you, going forward, there will be a lot of pieces that I will pull from this episode and go more in detail. I wish that I could, but I just wanted you guys to feel this concept, to make it yours, to relate to it, and to see if there's any pain in your life right now that maybe you're letting hold you back, when you could actually take that and use it as fuel to launch you to the next level of your life. I believe in you. I believe you can do it because I've done it. If I can do it, so can you. So I'm going to leave you with this. I want you to make the rest of your life the best of your life. And I'll see you in the next episode.